It's been a few hours since I did that recording. I fell asleep at 3, woke up at 11, chatted to my daughter, chilled out, and it's literally like nearly 2 in the morning now. So we're now the 7th of November 2025. But I just had to kind of like do a part 2 to the video that come through earlier, because to be honest, I'm doing these videos, but I ain't got a clue if I'm going to publish these videos, because at the end of the day, it's long. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, you have to step into purpose in it. So obviously, the earthly me wants nothing to do with human beings on Earth. Like, I'm more than happy to just go about my day and just cut through the bullshit and just live in the forest, basically. And I think most of us that are on this level have felt that way, one way or another. That we'd rather just live in isolation because we're really done with this bullshit. But then on the flip side, you have a mission in it. And the mission is to go public. So that's what it is, isn't it? So because I'm gonna publish the video. I said it don't make sense to publish it if I'm not gonna explain the ending of the video at least. So as I went through that shamanic flow, let's call it a shamanic flow, because I am a natural shaman, yeah. But as we go through that shamanic, as I was going through that shamanic flow, I got a download, and the download was very much saying what my next mission is. And at the time, I probably was prepared to say what the mission is, whereas now, I'm not going to say what the mission is, because the mission is linked to a girl that is on YouTube that I tried to contact today. So I've gone on her page on She's a Seer, because obviously I had that message in it. And I said, listen, I did a video recording. I want to send it to you, because it said send it to you because even though the way it comes across is a little bit harsh, because you're a gangster and because you're ghetto, and ghetto in a good way and a bad way, whatever, because you are who you are, put it that way, the reading had to come to you like that. It was all divinely orchestrated because it needed to hit you. Does that make sense? It can't be no suffy and it can't be no this and it can't be no nonsense. It's just live and direct. And you get the good side, you get the harsh side, which is stop talking crap. Because at the end of the day, rapping and singing is one of the same, and it's not even about that. It's just about your tone, really. You know what I'm saying? So I'm having to tell you, stop bullshitting yourself. More importantly, fair enough, the public might know or might not know, but it's the lies that you lie to yourself that are the worst type of lies ever. You understand? And then on the flip side, to know you know, I've heard you say my voice is an instrument. I know you know this. And they're making me know that if that's the case, then it's time to step into that and let the instrument play the way the instrument wants to play, and stop apologizing for it, baby, because there's no need to. Them days are gone, man. So this is part of your healing. The message is part of your healing them on the message. And you got people like Houdini, the only person I should say, coming up on the message, chatting rubbish, which we already know what that's about. But more importantly, you're seeing the messages. That's what my ancestors saying, that you always look through the side of your eye. And I know that you do, because I've seen you do it and I've clocked it, because I've got a stepdaughter and she sees through the corner of her eye. And I've always clocked them little. I'm very, very sensitive to very, very small body movements. I'm actually NLP qualified, which is a neuro-linguistic programmer. And I also know CBT, which is cognitive behavior therapy. So from an earthly level, I've studied certain courses and got certain qualifications to identify human behavior. On a personal level, my career as a head teacher and education consultant for over 20 years has led me to meet thousands and thousands and thousands of people and interact with thousands and thousands of people on some most personal, intimate level. I've cried with staff, I've cried with parents, I've cried with students. Do you know what I mean? These people have stolen my heart over the years. And I've been responsible for big schools, mainstream schools, like King Solomon International Business School, from post 16 right the way down to nursery. Just 1,500 kids. I've been at Small Heath Leadership Academy, 1,200 kids. I'm responsible for 1,100 kids that come under EAL, English of Speaking of a Language, of Speakers of Other Languages, special educational needs kids, and the hearing impaired children. They're my responsibility, as well as staff. So I'm used to managing large numbers of people and projects and programs. I'm also Prince 2 practitioner qualified, yeah, which is about managing projects in controlled environments. And I'm also a Reiki healer, I said to say. So why do I say all of this? Not to brag and boast, but just to give some just to show perhaps the extent of what ancestors can do for us in this physical dimension. You know, what they can do for us in this physical dimension, and how fast you can tap into the matrix downloads and download information. I have not studied everything, as in gone paper with it. Yeah, PhD. I call that PhD in it. A lot of things I have PhD'd it because for the last 5 years I've took myself through court, and I've represented myself as my own solicitor and barrister, and I've written my own court bundles. You know what I mean? And I had to PhD that. It's one of the most stressful things I've ever had to do. It's very stressful. Stressful on my nervous system. I used to have to go to the toilet and shit 4 times before court because I was so terrified. But it wasn't the court that was terrifying. It was all the past life judgments that were coming at me through this experience. It was just hitting timelines, hitting every time you think you've overcome one, you're back in again and you're back to square one. And you know, you have to control yourself and alchemize the energy. You're going into the court. The court's number is 33. 33 bullshit. It's not 33 for no bloody coincidence. I'm raw stepping over these lines. I'm going into hell. Hell trying to represent itself as the most divine place. 33, 33. Behave yourself. And there's nothing but warlocks and demons and entities in this. And I'm having to face all of this. I'm going to war, mate. It's war blood. But I'm walking as a physical being. But behind me, there's like 300, how much blood clot, samurai, goddamn warriors, Metatron. Yo, the gang is on, man. I'm not walking into court alone. They're making me know all you gotta do is step over the threshold. All you gotta do is step over the threshold. That's all you gotta do. And as soon as I step over the threshold, what fear? It's a level up, blood. It's a level up, man. I've gone into the court. You know how many times I've gone to court? I was going to court every month for 2 years straight alone during the whole process of 5 years. Not to mention all the other court dates in between that. Imagine having to prepare for court every month for 2 years. And you're going against one of the biggest fights of your life because it's the whole court against you. The clerks aren't helping you. The staff ain't helping you. Security is not helping you. Appeals on the 3rd floor is not helping you. You're having to go to the Commission of Human Rights. The Commission of Human Rights. My ancestors are writing out court documents. They're putting psalms. They're putting testimony. They're putting scripture. They're putting divine law. They're putting canon law. They're putting Mosaic law. And they're weaving it in and out of these court documents. And they're showing me the rituals to do over. Listen, this ain't no idiot. This is full-blown war. When people's like, we at war. What are you talking about? I want to hear your war story. Because if you ain't got a testimony, I'm calling you out. And I'm going to play your YouTube video live as I'm calling you out on YouTube while you're in a live reading. I'm going to record my live reading. The same time, and we'll go toe to toe. Because I'm a bad bitch like that. I ain't come here to play. I come here to slay. And I slay dragons, blood. And I travel the world. This year, I've been 5 countries and it should have been 6 already. And slay dragons. Coincidence that I just come from Jamaica. I left Jamaica on the 14th of October. The water never come down so rough. I recorded the man telling me they've never seen the river like this in 4 years. He's worked there and he ain't seen the river like this. And the day that I come land of Jamaica to go down the river raft with my gal Pitney, this is the state of Jamaica. And then how many days after I leave Jamaica, Jamaica's hit with a goddamn whirlwind and everything in the Jamaica pull up. My little Jamaica friend phoned me today to tell me that Jamaica's put on a little relief thing that if you can get people food and send them food between now and December, they won't tax the people them no money. But what the fuck do you mean you won't tax the people them no money? What do you mean between now and December? Don't tax the people them no money anyway. If somebody from the England or America or wherever wants to send somebody something in Jamaica, why are you paying to receive it? Why are you paying to receive it? And especially during food shortages anyway. So why are you acting like you're doing anybody a favour? That's standard. Do better. So she's telling me that St. Elizabeth did get licked down bad. There's only bodies in a St. Elizabeth, and how there's graves, they're having to do mass graves in St. Elizabeth, and St. Elizabeth is known as the breadbasket of Jamaica, she's telling me. So she's telling me that enough of the food and everything, like your cabbage and your carrots and your onions and whatever, comes out of St. Elizabeth. So if St. Elizabeth is not in action, she's saying there's going to be a pandemic. So I says to her, well, it can't be a pandemic, because a pandemic means a global impact. You know, an epidemic is like more like your country type of thing. But either way, anyway, she's just trying to emphasize that it's going to be something. So I'm like, boy. So my ancestors are talking to me and they're like, because that's what my family do when you're telling them a story and they know you're chatting. They don't bother say yes or no, because if you say yes or no, you get yourself in a trouble. And then they might go run back and say how you said. And I never you say, so I better you say, So she attack me, really, you're joking? Me not, And my ancestors are in the background, So I'm saying, rotted cup, so what are you going to do? What are you going to do if there's no food? What's the long-term plan? Because even if I send her the food, I'm thinking to myself, it's not forever and ever, amen. So what is the plan? Because when I was in Bali, the Almighty says to me, listen, you see how you don't already know you have your discernment and everything. One of the quickest ways to know discernment, or is to have discernment, is to help those who are helping themselves. You're less likely to get hurt, Asherah. You see somebody helping themselves, then you know, say that person, you can pour into them because they're already running. But you see, when somebody's just chatting about what am I going to do, you know, say don't bother investing nothing, because I've had so much wealth over my lifetime, and I just give it away. And I give it away because it's always been abundant to me. It's always come from divine, so it don't matter. But the people that I've showered on are wicked and evil, bad-minded people. They're just takers. It never meant for them, the divine said. You know what I mean? And even though it comes in abundance, there's still a level of responsibility that you have to take. You cannot just throw things away, because energy don't go nowhere. So you have to be mindful, Asherah. So I've learned a lot of lessons. I really have. I've learned a lot of lessons. So I'm listening to my girl talk, and she's talking, and I'm hearing spirit, and my ancestors talking too. And she's telling me how the bread basket of Jamaica, and how you could get a bread for $300. Now the bread's like $600-700. She's saying the people them are wicked. You could get a SIM card for $700. Now they want $2,500 for the SIM card. The people them wicked. So when she's saying the people, the majority of people that are got shops and stuff like that in Jamaica are the Chinese and the Indians. It's Jamaica, but you know, it is what it is, isn't it? So, or it's Jamaicans we shot, I don't know. But my daughter said, well, ain't everybody feeling the pinch that everybody's gonna do what they're doing? Alright. I'm not saying nothing. Me, I just the messenger. Me, I just pass the word. You get what I'm saying? So it is what it is. Me, I just pass the word. What does that mean? Me, I just chat what me I chat. Yeah. So anyway, tutus. Why am I saying tutus? Tutus is when you're like, watch. This is what it is now. So that was then, but now this has happened. Tutus. Why am I saying tutu? Oh, because I was telling you a different story and I've gone down this long path. Okay, let me come back. Tutus then. So let me come back to this then, because the original thing I was talking about. Spirit, why are you taking me there? Okay. Go on to Bali now though, we'll finish. And what bit about Bali? Oh, because you was telling them that you go to different countries. I was telling you that Spirit was telling you through me that I go to different countries to do certain things, and I've got caught up in the Jamaica experience. Okay, so tutus. So come back then. So I go to these countries, and I've been to 5 countries this year already in 2025. As I said, Ghana in February, March, April, I went back to Ghana. Then I went to Istanbul in June. I went Jamaica in October. I was supposed to go Nigeria at the end of October for my birthday, but I ended up in Bali. But I didn't touch down in Bali. No, I was in Bali. I touched down in Bali. I touched down in Bali on my birthday, on the 30th, the day before Halloween. So my shaman instructor, that's what I was telling you on the video. Yeah, so this is where the last video did cut off. Thank you, Spirit. So the last video cut off with me telling you that I have to tell my mentor that I've just come back, and within 2 hours of me coming back, they've given me my next mission. So I phoned her while I was in Bali because I just come off a mission and I got hurt. The bike went forward. It rammed up the instructor's bike, rammed up into his back. The bike carried on going and fell to the side. So I fell from a height on the ground and the bike fell on top of me. All my legs bruised up, all my arms bruised up, my side and everything's bruised up. And the petrol's tipping out of me and my legs trapped. So there's a video on that. So I'll show the video. So anyway, I've got back now, and they says to me, "I go Bali, but if you get, I'll get a level up if I get back." And I got back, so I was laughing on the last video about me getting back. So the reason why I turned on the video in the blood clot first place is because I was going through an ascension, and I was explaining to you that I don't need to lie on the bed when I go through these extensions anymore. I was telling Spirit this. No, I don't want to lay on the bed and get no energy. Just drop my blood clot extension. Just give me my download straight away. I don't want to feel it through my body. I just want it. I just want to lock in. Because there's been times when Spirit's been with me, especially in 2022, and I'm going off subject. Let me put a pin in it, okay? I said earlier on the other video that I'm a judge, and I'm just going to put a pin in it because otherwise I'm going to run away from this story. So as I said, I've been going to these countries because it's where Spirit's been sending me. The Divine's been sending me on missions because we're on spiritual warfare. So spiritually, I have to go to these different lands in these different countries and perform rituals on their grounds. And these rituals are these shamanic dances that I do. Yeah. So on the last video, you seen me go into a shamanic flow, and then I got a download, and I was just about to tell you this download that I'm telling you part of now before the video cut out. But if you listen to the video 5 minutes before, I did mention that a sign came up and it said my battery's got 5%. So that's why the video cut out. All right, so let's continue. So I've been going to these countries, Jamaica one of them. I did some ritual dancing in Jamaica, and while I was doing some dancing at the Royalton Hotel, I noticed that my hands were doing lots of Indian signals behind me, and I was talking to somebody behind me with these hand signals, and I was getting downloads about parts of the conversation, but really the downloads were about the fact that I'm speaking in another language using sign language that I link to some type of Asian thing. Because what you need to understand about me is that I've come to understand that that we all have, but I have 5 personalities within me. I have my inner child, which we all know because it's a big thing. Go back and heal your inner child. So we have our inner child. Then we have our I call mine. My inner child is called Asherah. Yeah. The next one up is called Sasha. Now she can be depicted. I sometimes call her my shadow side, but I also sometimes call her my divine masculine side. Yeah. But divine masculine in its toxicity a lot of the time. So really, this is why I don't like to use that. I don't like to say divine masculine, but really it should be. But really, it's more shadow side. It's very shadowy energy. And that's what I says when my ancestors gave me the download that I'm going to be going live and really showing people the extension back in 2021 when I got the download. I says to them, I can only do it if I'm Sasha, because she just doesn't give a fuck. She don't care what you think. She literally does not care. So therefore, I can just run the track. I can just run the track, say what needs to be said, do what needs to be done, and don't really have to put anybody's feelings or thoughts into it, because at the end of the day, your thoughts and feelings are my thoughts and feelings. I've already had those thoughts and feelings. I've alchemized those thoughts and feelings. I've come to terms with those thoughts and feelings. I've accepted those thoughts and feelings, and I've moved on from those thoughts and feelings. Does that make sense? So I can't spend time trying to go backwards to be triggered by things that people say when they're coming from a hurt place, because hurt people hurt people. So we're just going to move on. So when I talk to you directly like that, I call that a gizmo moment. It's like, I know what you're thinking. I know what you're probably saying. But guess what? We're just going to move on, because we don't really have time for that bullshit, because it's war. Let's just crack on. You know what I mean? And that's not to be disrespectful. That it just saves time. And this is what I do with the fuck niggas that come in, and the people that I meet along the mission that I've got to do business with. I'm saying to them, I've already had this conversation with you 3 weeks ago, 3 years ago, 3 months ago. Let's not waste time. This is what you're going to say. This is what I'm going to say. This is what you're going to say. This is what I'm going to say. And then I'm going to say this. Then I'm going to say this. And you're going to be like, yeah, all right, cool. Because I'm talking to your higher self. Like, your 3D self don't get it. They're not going to understand everything or a lot or parts of what I say. But your higher self, if you move out of the way, out of the way, out of the way, I'm bad. And that's, I don't know why they said out of the way, I'm bad. But if you move out the way, then it will allow. This says to me that I'm not going to sleep, but I got a hearing tomorrow. I got a court hearing tomorrow. I did get some sleep after I did the first video, so maybe I'll be okay. So that's my paperwork. I got orange in the bag to eat, but that's my paperwork. My daughter bought me roses because it was my birthday. When I got back, there's all these. I think this is the video that I'm listening to. Your glow up attracted a god. They're in full worship mode. I know, because I've been in Bali killing it. I told you that I had chicken fillets, stretch marks, Beyonce's pussy, all the rest of it, yeah. Well, my ancestors took me to Istanbul, took me to a hospital called Orion, and paid for all my cosmetic surgery. The doctor that did it, he couldn't have done a finer job. I look like my 17-year-old body. Before I had my first born god, I've got my 17-year-old body back, and I'm 44. I turned 44 on the 30th of October. I got a brand new car outside, but it's not brand new anymore. I got it. When did I get it? I got it. Was it 2023? No, 2024. Was it? Yeah, I got it in 2024. So it's a year in September. So I've had it a year. I don't pay for anything. It's all free. It's electric. It's all paid for by the divine. Does that make sense? I don't have to put my hand in my pocket or anything. Everything is completely taken care of. And some of you are going to be like, she's lying. And that's absolutely okay. I don't have to prove myself. You know what I mean? It is what it is, isn't it? So anyway, I'm prepared for court tomorrow. They've just said to me that I'm not going to bed. And if that's the case, so be it. That's fine. And that's what I'm saying. Like, when you're working with the divine, you have to let go of these human, earthly things like sleep, sex, food, air, people, things. You have to attach. And you're probably thinking, what the fuck, how can you attach from air? But that's what it requires. If you really want to, because the code right now, the popular word on YouTube is big stepper. Hello. This ain't the okay, the spirits just told me why they call it a big stepper. Okay, so a big stepper. In the 3D world, I was assuming, and it's a sin to assume, so I was being sinful. I was assuming by big stepper, they just meant like, like big spender, big stepper, somebody who steps out. So, like me putting my pussy outside and just stepping out and saying, I'm a bad gal. Do you understand where I'm coming from? I'm a bad gal. I used to tell that pussy old prince who come in like he was God, this is fuck nigga 5. And I said, I used to cock up my foot on the bed when I was talking to him. Cock up my foot in front of him and say, you man. I said, I will cock up my goddamn crutches. You understand me? I put up my foot and skin out my blood clot crutches and show the world I'm bad no fuck. You understand me? I'm baddest of the baddest. You understand me? Because which gal can say, Jada Pinky, that she's ready to step out of her jars and cock it blood clot up and have the receipts and everything else to back it? Yeah? That's what time it is. So, to me, that's a big stepper. Yeah? That's a big stepper. Somebody who's ready to step out their drawers is a big stepper in my mind. Now, if I'm misunderstanding what the tarot community mean when they say big stepper and they're talking about something else, then please put it in the chat. Put it in the chat, because I want to know what you mean about big stepper, because to me, that was a big stepper. Someone who's willing to step out their drawers and step forward. Yeah? Because they know they got receipts, everything they say, the talk on business. You're a tarot reader and you get your messages directly from the divine and nobody can't tell you shit. I challenge all of you to step out your drawers. Live. Everybody's running live. Everybody's on YouTube live. There's no pre-recordings. What you get is what you get. You're there in a download there and then. And we're going to know who's talking to who. Because my ancestors will call out your ancestors. My ancestors called out Prince's ancestors. Man 40 was God. Come like he's God. Yeah. Let's go toe to toe then. Because my ancestors are already telling me who you are. They're already making me know who you are, and I don't even want to deal with you because you ain't prepared for this. You're not a worthy contender. You're not ready. You're playing checkers, and this is a motherfucking game of chess. So why am I wasting my time with you? He went away. He's got a little level up, come back on about he's ready for the thing. I'm not ready for the thing. I said, you're not ready for the thing until the divine tells me that you're ready for the thing. So divine come down and was like, listen, Asherah, I know you're pissed still, but listen. You do this challenge, yeah. Right now, he's on dimension 7. You're on dimension 13. If you take on this message and you both pass it, you'll level up to dimension 24. So I'm like, all right, that can work. That can work still, because if I'm on dimension 13 right now, and I know what I'm seeing, and I know the conversations that I'm having, and my celestial ancestors are coming through the ceiling, talking to me directly, and I'm leveling up as a judge in the celestial world, and I'm waking up as a giant. So let me go back to the point. A big stepper to me is that you are a spiritual giant. If you know that you are a spiritual giant, put it in the chat. You're a big stepper. A big stepper is not someone who wants to chat up and run up their mouth on YouTube and be talking about tarot card readings. All right, that's not the level of big stepper. That's normal. That's standard. Step out in front of the video. Step out in front of police with no drawers on. I've been there. I've done that. I step out. Go into court. I step out. Going to other countries by myself, ending up 5 hours away from my passport in the middle of nowhere, the jungles of Africa, surrounded by 12 witches and warlocks, yeah, debating whether or not they should kill me and leave me in the jungle. That's a big stepper, yeah? That if you're on that level, follow me. In fact, don't follow me, because I've done past that level. I'm setting it. This is like Super Mario. I'm Princess. I said to you already in the other video, I'm Princess wandering along. But I set out an assault course. And if you can get through the assault course set by the divine too, then you're a worthy contender. But if you can't, then you're not a worthy contender. And what makes me boss? I'm talking directly from the divine. It's been set by the divine. Everybody is on mission. It's a race back home. It's not about race back home, but it's a race. It's a race. On the recording that I recorded 97 hours, you'll hear me on that recording that I recorded back in 2024 while I was going through psychosis, allegedly. But it was a spiritual ascension, the biggest awakening of my life, because I was pushing through the matrix. I was pushing through the 3D matrix, pushing through into the 4D, 5D realm. But I had to go through the 4D. So when I was going through the 4D meant that I had to multiply my brain, multiply myself. So up until then, in the 3D, I knew that I was 5 personalities, which is what I was just about to tell you, which was my inner child, my divine masculine, my divine feminine, my empress, and my higher self. My high priestess. Those are the 5 personalities that I had to come into. Let me slow down. That I had to come in alignment with and understand. So my inner child is called Asherah. My divine masculine is called Sasha. That's a lot of who you're getting now, the badass. My divine feminine is called Rosie. I've got that tattooed on my back. My empress is called Asherah. She's the boss bitch. She's the one with all the PhDs and masters and whatever. She's the head teacher, whatever. And then you got Asherah, which is my higher self. Asherah. Who is Asherah? Asherah is the wife of God. Go check your Bibles. If you don't know who Asherah is, you're not reading your Bible properly, because the name Asherah is in the Bible multiple times. You can just chat GPT, Google it. It's not a problem. The wife of Yahweh. Yeah, so they gave me that name. So my registered name now in the UK, my driving license name is Asherah Sheba Rose. Rose, because I'm also the Queen of England, and I carry the rose on my body. They said that we're just going to chat the business now. We're just going to chat the business. It is what it is. Yeah. 2024 was telling you that they was telling me, ancestors were telling me to jump out the window. My sons and that was dragging me back in the house, telling me you can't jump out the window, Mum. Like, basically, I must be crazy. I'm not jumping out the window. But they also had me in the house like a fucking hostage, because there was entities jumping in and out of my kids in the house. My kids knew Masonic rituals that they should never even fucking knew. There was entities in the house. There was spirits in the house. There was grand masters. Big up Dr. Malachi York. Grand Master Dr. Malachi York Melchizedek was in my blood clot room when I called Judgment Chambers. Do you understand me? This ain't no joke thing. This ain't no joke thing. I'm not having no play conversations with nobody. I'm letting people know what time it is. It's go time. It's A-O, let's go. Yeah? A-O, let's go. And I'm also hearing that idiot saying alpha to the omega. He thought he was alpha to the omega. You thought you was a gatekeeper. You ain't no gatekeeper, mate. You're a gate sweeper. You're the butler. I went Jamaica. I had to really rip up a man in Jamaica, you know. This man come to fuck me. I went Jamaica to meet some Masons. Yeah, my spirits told me that I'm going to Jamaica to meet some Masons. Already went to Africa and met Masons, spiritually and in the physical. Yeah, I dealt with them same, so made it back. Yeah. And I've got the video recordings of these people telling you that they're Masons. I got receipts for everything, okay? I got receipts for everything. I don't chat what I can't back. And I don't chat anyway. It's spirit talking. Yeah? So anyway, I've gone Jamaica, and I met a couple of men on the beach. Obviously, yeah. But remember, I've gone there to meet certain men. Yeah. So I want to cut the story short for true spirit, because this ain't that story. The point of the matter is just keep it under one man. Me and this man it ends up driving me and my daughter from Negril to Kingston. So that's one side of Jamaica to the other side of Jamaica. One side of Jamaica to the other side of Jamaica. And it takes about 5 hours, if I'm honest, yeah. But the rain's coming down too, because it's tropical time. Plus we've stopped off, got Kentucky, stopped off to do, you know what I'm saying? Anyway, we've dropped my daughter off at her friend's house. And wait, I need to pipe out my arm, thank you. We dropped my daughter off at her friend's house, and it's me and him. So he's telling me how he's taking me to some party and whatever, and we're gonna do this and we're gonna do that. But lo and behold, my man ain't come with no money. He's on a books thing. Do you understand me? These niggas on the beach are gigolos. Yeah? They're male whores. And he's seen me. But remember, the thing is, he's put me on his boat. He's got the biggest cruise ship in a Jamaica on Bloody Bay, down on the grill. Him and his dad and his brother Sheldon. His dad's name's Lloyd, but he calls himself, he introduced himself to me as Mr. Rose. Anyway, they've got the biggest cruise boat. So you pay £65, you go on there, you drink alcohol, they sell you weed, you're smoking weed and whatever, and it's a party on this boat. So because we're going to the river rapid, and it's the first time the river's been so muddy, yeah, and that's a whole nother ritual on the river, but I'll come back to that story. There's a whole this water ain't been so brown and dirty, and me and my daughter just happens to be on the river. That time, really, the river water is supposed to be crystal. If you look online and look at people down at the river getting the clay rub, you'll see that the water's pure and clear and pretty. But when we're there, the water's brown and muddy. But my answers are like, this is part of the ritual. So divine comes online. So I've already done a video a few days when I got back from Jamaica of when divine came online when I was down at the river, and how I had to wash the clay off and get the clay off before my man could drag the raft back up the river. And he's dead. He's a dead man because he never did it. These are all warlocks. There's like 40 men on the fucking riverbank, 3 gal and me and my daughter. What am I doing in that situation? And then you got cars revving like they don't want us to leave. I've recorded it. Plus I recorded my man talking, Beach Boss, because Beach Boss dropped me there and Beach Boss dropped us back. This is Jamaica now. This ain't Africa. This is Jamaica. And Beach Boss is like, what the bumper clot? You get what I'm trying to say? Because it's all out blood clot war here in the flesh. Never mind what's going on in the celestial. So the point I want to get to is that in order to win these fights, you've got to be able to level up to. So you've got the game of the mission that you're going to level up in, but you have to level up. You have to level up your avatar. This physical body has to level up. The spiritual body inside has to level up. So you have to break through certain things within the matrix. And this is me breaking through. The spirits took me on bare conversations, and I'm so excited to tell you guys these missions and what's happened and what's really going on. But I've got to try and stick to the points, because we're 34 minutes in already. I haven't got there. I ain't even made the first point yet. So I go to all these countries. Spirit sends me on these missions, and I do these rituals on these countries. And as I was saying, I was doing this Indian one, and I all these tick fingers and my hands was going and my waist was going, and I was on a rock, and if you ever seen how sharp the rock was, and I was on there with just a thin little dress, but I'm telling you, everywhere the rock was digging me was massaging my body, because I was sitting for so long, my bottom would hurt usually, because I have sciatica still from my pregnancy with my daughter. But my bottom wasn't hurting. It was like the rock was massaging it out. So it was very good. So I sat there for 4 hours in a ritual, man. in doing multiple rituals under the moon and the stars in Jamaica. So they sent me to Jamaica to meet these Masons, and I did. I met them on the beach. And they was the owners of the boats and everything. So my man's like, oh, I don't normally come on the boats, but I'm going to come on the boats because you're on the boat. Do you want me to come on the boat? I'm like, do what you want to do, blood. Do you get what I'm trying to say? It's your boat. So he puts my bag on the boat because obviously to get on the boat, you got to walk into the sea. So the water's literally up to chest high and you climb in on the boat. So he's held my bag in the air because my bag is heavy because I pack. If I'm going somewhere, I need to make sure I got sanitary towels, Tampax, spray, olive oil, not creams in that sense, but shea butter if I'm packing it. I need to make sure I got 3 pair of clothes. I need to know that there's clean panty. I need to know that there's bonding glue, whatever. We've got our stuff. That's me. So my bags, and we've got our drink, even though it's free drinks on there. I'm not someone who can just drink from any and anybody. So I have to make sure that I pack my little water, I pack my little alcohol, whatever in it. So the bag's heavy. So he's struggling with the bag to carry the bag through the water. But he manages and gets it under the boat. And it ends up coming on the boat. And it's a thank God that he did, because if he never, I would have jumped off the boat and swam back to shore. Because I don't like being cold and wet. Why are we on this boat and Jamaica's gone into a storm? Tropical fucking storm while we're on the boat, which you know anyway, because I told you I left Jamaica on the 14th of October. You can look at the forecast and see the 12th and the 13th were storms. You understand me? That's why the river rafting and the boats had to turn back and we've had to jump in minibuses because the water's too rough. So when we get back, we find out, say, one of his father's boats have sunk. So we've gone and met the father at the beach at 3 o'clock in the morning after dropping my daughter off from Jungle, the nightclub. Look at me, I jump on a boat and I jump on a boat. All right, let me allow it. Because they really want me to go into the story, you know. Oh my God. Anyway, the point of it is this fucking Mason, fucking warlock, whatever, come to challenge and test me. And it was no match. And I told him in the car, this ain't checkers. This ain't checkers. Do you know how to play chess? He's gone, no. He don't know how to play chess. And then he said, I know how to play a little bit. So I said, well, what move does the horse make? And he said it makes a 7. And that is correct. So I went to ask him my next one. He said, no. You can't ask me no more. These dickheads, they don't know how to play chess in 3D. And they don't know how to play chess in the 5D. And they certainly don't know how to play chess in the 4D, which is mind. The art of war of the mental state. The art of war of the spiritual state, the art of war of the physical state. In the physical state, the art of war has been the pen for me. Yeah, before the traveling started, it was the pen through the court documents. You know, they say that the pen is mightier than the sword. That is true. And I proved that truth. The courts, Birmingham Family and Civil Court, banned me with my first case for childcare proceedings. They banned me for submitting documents. No, financial proceedings, FDR. They banned me and said I'm not allowed to send any more exhibits, and I can only send X amount of paperwork. And then with childcare proceedings, they banned me too. And the hearing after they banned me, they said I can only provide 2 pages. 2 pages, you know. This is a war, and I'm used to doing a whole court. My position statement would be no less than 20 pages, 14 to 20 pages. And then that position statement will hold up to 42, 56 separate exhibits because I've got receipts for everything. Do you understand me? And that's just one hearing. And I'm telling you that I'm going into a hearing every month. So can you imagine the paperwork that I'm producing? I'm PhD in it. The pen is mightier than the sword, and we're at war. We're at war, man. And then I'm having to step over the threshold and fight spiritual warfare. I don't know what's going on, but you can just hear the knives clanging in the background. Ching, 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 ching. You get what I'm saying? It's full out war. It's full out war, mate. And I'm in the bloody centre of it. And that's a big, to me, I need to know, or I want to know, who really are the big steppers? Who's really at war and who's just talking about war? You know what I mean? Who's really at war and who's just chatting war? Because I ain't come on here to chat about no war. I'm not here to cry. I told you I fell off the fucking bike. My body was bruised. I sat down on the side of the grass, alchemized my body. Yeah, as in got my shit together. And then got back on the bike. And you'll hear the recording. The man's like, shall we go? I'm like, no. But I'm going to finish my blood clot ride. When I got back to the hotel, I cried like a blood clot. Not my hotel that I was at. Because I had to run from that. When I had to jump from that hotel. Spirit was like, it's out now. I had to go upstairs quickly, run, book our next hotel. I booked the blood clot hotel so fast. I booked the Dubai Hilton Gardens Resort. The Dubai one. That time it in a blood clot Bali. I've done it so fucking fast. I've made a mistake and booked the wrong fucking hotel. I've booked a hotel in Dubai. I'm not going to Dubai until a couple of days. And I'm in Bali right now. I need the Hilton Gardens blood clot Bali. I don't realise until I'm on my way to the hotel that I've booked the hotel. That time I tell the hotel to turn off the AC and get things ready for me when I reach because I'm on my way. That time it's it's Dubai. And I'm on my way to fucking... I got the video. Oh, go on my Instagram. All you'll see is the Hilton Gardens Bali. That's the hotel I had to come from. But you'll see on my Instagram the hotel before where you can see the 4-poster bed with the curtains on it. That's in Bali. That's in Bali too, but that's at the first hotel. That's the spiritual hotel where I do the yoga and everything, and you'll see my yoga poses there. That's that hotel. But I've had to run from that hotel. I keep saying run. I'm just gonna leave it as run. I've had to run from that hotel because certain people there have got plans for me, and their plan can't work out like that. It's mission impossible, and you're in and you're out. Your mission team gets you in, and the airlift you in, and then the airlift you out. I got airlifted out. So when I got airlifted to the safe house, that's when I was able to cry for myself, and my bruises all down my leg. I've got pictures anyway, so I'll show you. But today my daughter said it looks like a guitar, so the bruises from there to there, and then I got bruises all up my sides. I got bruises on my hips here, on my leg here too, and I got bruises on my arms and bruises on my elbow where I fell off the bike from a mission for the divine, the Most High. I'll do it again tomorrow. Because even before I went into the mission, I knew something was going to happen, and I was like, all right, if I've got karmic debt to pay off a little still, then save. I don't mind. Do whatever it is. I'm down. Because you have to accept the mission, innit? And then 10-10 it, and then 10-10 the 10-10. That's what I do. So I'm a big stepper because I'm a giant. I step into my celestial form, and my celestial form is massive. Like, you see the whole size of the earth? I use that as a little headrest just to put my arm on. So it's like a little stump. That's what earth looks like to me when I'm in my celestial body. I'm just cranked off in the stars, chilling. Just wondering and pondering. Feeling like time's going too fast, but not being aware of time at the same time. But because I'm watching what's going on down there, I'm like, bloody hell, man. She's moving fucking fast, innit? Slow down. Savor it. Savor the moment, man. Stop killing the mission so quickly. Just slow down. But I can't help it because the 3D me, I'm just ready to just fucking get back up to where you are. You're nice up there in the celestial cut stuff. I'm down here. I want to be back there. Do you understand me? So obviously I'm going to kill these missions and do them quick time. I'm trying to get back. But then when I did get back, when I seen myself complete all the messy missions, and I went up the 9 levels and back down and back up and back down and back up, like I did it so many times, like this whole lifetime, I did so many times. I'm watching myself go. It just looks like lights now, like, you know, Eon, them lights. That's what I look like going up and down these 9 levels, and I get up the top and I'm just sitting in the void, and I'm like, all right, so that's the story of life here on this matrix that we're trapped in, and the story of all of it, to be fair, because it's celestial right the way down to mundane skin and flesh, innit? I keep saying skin and flesh, but really it's blood and flesh. So apologies. Even the last video I said that, and I did clock it, but I just carried on. But my bad. Blood and flesh. It's like, say, our blood and flesh. I'm in alignment now. So here in blood and flesh, I'm experiencing everything that I've experienced as a spiritual being and everything in between. And then my spiritual self is enjoying, experiencing the physical me. That's why she's up there feeling what I'm feeling, saying, slow down, it's really nice to watch, man. While I'm looking up there and saying, yeah, hurry up, man, it's really nice to get there. Because we're just it's like there's no separation anymore. I'm at one with divine, and divine is at one with me. I am the divine here in flesh, and I am the divine up there. We are one. We're looking through one eye now. Remember earlier on when I said it's like the planets align and I get to look down and see the past, the present, and the future. So now I'm just staring at myself, looking down on myself, looking up at myself, looking down on myself, looking up at myself, looking down on myself. Like when you stand in front of a mirror and it just goes back and forth. I thought it went back and forth, but it doesn't. Because when I was in Ghana, I went to the ancestor spiritual land, which wasn't really ancestor spiritual land, but we'll get into that on another day. But if you go to my Instagram, you'll see the recording of it. And I was, why was I telling you that point when I went to this ancestral land? There was a point I was making, but they just took the point. It says to make another point. Anyway, I went Jamaica, did these rituals. I went Africa, did rituals. I went Istanbul, did rituals. I went Dubai, did rituals. Went London, did rituals. Went Bali, did rituals, and just got back. I'm tired now. It looks like it's starting to get light though. I'm gonna bang on my drum. Before I went to Bali, because I'm doing a level 2 practitioner's shamanic course. And I told you that I've got a shamanic mentor. Her name's Stacey. This is my